France24.
And I'm Josephine Langford.
And we are here to talk about the movie After.
I dare you to make out with Harden.
I'm done playing this game.
Oh.
I like this girl.
It came from pretty much everything I've ever loved, and I just threw it all into one. I was reading a lot of fan fiction on Wattpad about One Direction, so it felt natural to write that, but it was also inspired by things like 50 Shades, Vampire Diaries, Gossip Girl, Wuthering Heights, Pride and Prejudice. Like, I literally took all of my favorite things and kind of made a pot of it.
The After fan fiction blog has become a worldwide literary phenomenon. 100 chapters, a million words. The story now adapted for the big screen.
Thought that you just wanted to be friends.
I don't think we can ever be just friends.
The fan base for this book is huge. Had you read the book before you embarked on this journey?
Neither one of us had read the books, and I think we were just a bit ignorant that there was this huge thing out there that so many people love.
And have you read it now? What do you think of it?
I've read it now. I'm a few chapters from finishing the last book.
The first book is written from Tessa's perspective, so the opinions of Harden are all slightly biased, and having Anna on set every day, we'd get a much more real representation of him by just talking to her. Plus the script shows a very well-rounded character there, so haven't read the book. I've only managed to see the film once, and we just simply haven't had the time to watch it. We've just been so busy with this kind of stuff. As soon as we finish, I'm gonna watch the film a few times, and then I'll finally be able to read the book, so I'm looking forward to it.
Nothing could ever change the way that I feel about you.
Just be careful.
What happened?
It has to do with Harden.
Something's going on, but it's not what you think.
And it was published on the storytelling platform Wattpad. It's since racked up something like 1.5 billion reads. I can't even fathom what that means. How do you explain its success?
I don't know, because if I try to break it down of, oh, it must be because it was fan fiction. There's a million fan fictions. It must be because there's sexual scenes. There's a million books with sexual scenes. So I think it's just a mixture of all of those things and timing and the, like, dramatic things that happen in the book all the time and the updating every day. So I have no idea.
Call and text every day.
Mom, it's college. It's not a survival course. It'll be fine.
Now, loads of love stories at university end badly, end painfully. Most of them end. What's the moral of the story, or what's the message you want to send to people?
I didn't necessarily, and I still don't really, write to send a direct message. I feel like everyone can take something differently. If you're leaving home for the first time and you're, afraid to leave your parents' house, then you can see this as, it'll be fine. You can make new friends, you'll find yourself. But then there's also people who are excited to leave home for the first time, and they can watch it and feel like, I can do this, I'll be strong. So I feel like there's so many different messages, but I think not to take it as a dating guide, that's for sure. Because in real life, if your first love is usually not the person that you end up with.
Love is just a transaction. We're all hardwired to desire. We present the correct set of desirable traits, and boom. We can turn it on, and we can turn it off.
Yes, Miss Young, Tessa? I think that it was the most revolutionary feminist novel that I've ever read.
Female empowerment is a big theme these days. How is it reflected in the film, do you think?
Well, she's empowered. She makes decisions about her sexuality according to her own comfort levels, and she doesn't let people pressure her to do things that she doesn't want to do or to not do things that she does want to do.
There's a really fine line between things that are difficult in a relationship and saying that it's not empowering. Like if they, for example, when people say, Harden and Tessa's relationship is toxic, that makes sense because their relationship is really messy. But when people say it's, male chauvinistic or Tessa's a weak woman, or these things are crazy to me because Tessa is such a strong character, and you see her go through the movie is literally from her point of view. It's about her empowering herself with sexuality, and we see her making choices that she is making. She's wanting to do these things, and she's feeling comfortable for the first time in her life.
What did you think of the final sex scenes in the film?
I love them, to be honest. I know that a lot of readers wanted, way more graphic and way more, intense, but I feel like there's so many ways to be sexy and sensual without being nude or being over the top. I feel like, for me, my favorite like sex scene in the movie is actually just them kissing. It's not even a sex scene. I feel like chemistry does something magical in those scenes that I don't want the focus to be just the sex scene. So I love how delicate they are and how intricate and how it focuses on their faces and not necessarily the act of having sex. So I really am happy with the way that they ended up.
Josephine, what advice would you give to your character?
I think I'd probably just tell her that you can't be perfect and you can't always have everything under control, so don't try too hard.
And advice for Hardin?
Thinking things through more and being honest.
Truth or dare?
Truth. Craziest place you've had sex? Pass. Why? It's an easy one.
I wrote on Twitter actually yesterday that I was going to be interviewing you guys, and I was inundated with...
I can imagine, yeah.
with fans who have questions for you, have comments for you. Kay says, will there be another after book in the series?
I'm not sure yet. I keep going back and forth. I have so much material that's already written that there definitely could be, but I also want to be conscious of being an author who just puts out stuff just to do it. So I feel like if people aren't tired of them by now, then possibly in the future, but I don't want to publish something just because I know people will buy it.
And lots of people have asked me, including Mimi Maria from Paris, what do you think of people calling the relationship in the film a toxic relationship?
It's obviously not a perfect, ideal relationship because that wouldn't be an entertaining film. They're interesting characters with realistic flaws that they try and rectify. I don't think it's people, you know, actively, willingly, constantly doing malicious things. I think it's mistakes that, you know, are unfortunate, but there's always an attempt to resolve it. It's never, yeah, that's why I don't think toxic is the right word by any means.
Beck says, you don't have tattoos in real life. Don't know how we know that, but presume that's the,
I think
that's the case.
I've said.
Okay, if you could keep any one of Hardin's tattoos, which one would you keep and
That's
why?
such a good question.
keep
I kind of
writing.
like that snake one there. And then there's one, which one?
I thought it would be the writing.
The handwritten one?
Yeah, no?
No, I'm not a fan. Just because it's like handwritten, I don't know.
I'm a big
I don't
fan
mind
of
text,
handwritten
but I'd want it to be
tattoos.
like, I don't know, consistent font. I think there's a bird, I'm quite picky. I've been thinking about this. There's a bird cage with birds flying out of it, and I like the birds flying out of it a bit too, but there's something about the fine line of the bird cage here that I really like.
How many tattoos has he got in the film?
I don't know number, but
Let's count. 1,
3,
2, sorry.
4, 5. But 12 sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think we'll have more in the next one if we can, hopefully.
Oh. Did you keep any wardrobe or set piece from Tessa or Hardin?
I accidentally took his ring home, which I still have, but I'll bring it back.
We don't have a very similar sense of style. So no.
This is a very popular question. 3 people suggested it, and it had hundreds of likes afterwards. Please, can you impersonate each other's accents?
It was a whole thing. That's her catchphrase, sorry.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Or no, wait.
Do when I talk to my friends.
I can't. Well, he has these little sayings that I can't remember ever. But it's like, oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. No. It's well good, man. Yeah, no, I was sort of, you know. I can't remember what it's like. Does that sound accurate?
This is a good question. They're gonna love that.
Jaylyn, who says, please tell Anna that we love her.
Oh.
And we thank her for everything. Amazing friendships have been made because of you. And we can't thank her enough. She's responsible for my happiness.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks, Jaylyn. I think that's one of my favorite things is when I see at signings, people never knew each other and they come together in these huge groups of girls, and I see them online in their group chats and making friends, and they meet in person, and it's just such a special thing because as a reader, sometimes you can be so isolated, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're friends with all the people that read the same book. So it's, for some reason, After has been something that has been creating friendships, which is something I never thought of when I started.
Okay, Anna, thank you.
Thank you
very
so much.
You're making a big mistake. It's gonna break your heart.
What are you dreaming about?